it took me about 90 days since I registered on acquire.com to go through the business, understand what I was looking for, what were the levers that I was actually looking for, right? I had a very small budget. I had just under $200,000 of savings that I was willing to gamble because, I was like, I don't really want to work in the corporate world. So this is something without ever having to change my lifestyle. This is something that I can risk losing. That was sort of my belief. And I know I wasn't going to lose the money, but it's still good to have that, you know, um, worst case scenario, out of the way. So yeah, with that amount of money, I was looking at different businesses. I think I probably looked at about 25 to 30 businesses in that 90 to 120 days. And as I started looking more and more and more, I started developing patterns for these businesses. I was like, okay, so this business is profitable, but it's not in a growing industry. It's just a stagnant product. Like once I remember looking at a invoicing solution that is being used by 500 people, and it had good margins, very low overhead. You're just basically it's like buying a piece of real estate where it just like yields returns for you, but there is really no possibility for growth. As you know, invoicing solutions are a dime a dozen, and there's just so many of them in the market. So I was so close to giving them my offer, but then when I peeled everything back, I was like, I had to question myself, what is the purpose of me buying a business? It's to grow the business, not just get returns on my money, right? If that were the case, I would go for something more safer, like purchasing a condo or something, right? This is something that I could acquire and then grow in 3x, 4x, 5x, so that I can actually build equity into the business and potentially sell it to someone in the future. So for me to get to that realization, it took me like a couple months. So that's when I shifted my whole search